Hello, here's some more stuff for the key of D. And, the major pentatonic scale, if you're in G, is notes G, A, B, D, E, G. And the corresponding notes in the key of D are D, E, F sharp, A, B, D. And to take a melody that uses all of those notes and nothing else, shortened bread, playing in G would be like this, etc. Key of D, start with our D chord down, just two fingers here, 2-finger version of the D chord, and we can work from there. If we grab our B notes primarily on the third string, we can keep that shape down for most of the time. Yeah, so I had 2 different ways of playing with the B note, just based upon whatever seemed most convenient at the time, whether it was on the 3rd string or the 2nd string. And in the B part, well, I could have kept the D chord in place, but I just opted for just a single finger there because the B part never goes up to the very highest note there. Okay, so now taking a melody that uses all 7 notes of the major scale, like Buffalo Gals, so you'd have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G in the key of G, and that translates to D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D in the key of D. And once again, there's going to be several spots where I'm kind of working around an A note. So I might be keeping my index finger in place on the 3rd string even while I'm playing some of the other notes. Actually, I'm going to start with it down. Okay, so now, so far up to this point, we haven't used the 5th string in the key of D. We've just been playing melodies that run from the low D note to no higher than the high D note there. But if we're going to include the 5th string, get some rolls going and some pinches and all that good stuff, then usually what we're going to find ourselves wanting to do is to have the 5th string up to an A note, which we can do by spiking at the 7th fret, so that it ends up being a note that is, the 5th string is then at a note that's part of the D chord. And it also happens to be part of one of the other chords commonly associated with the key of D, the 5 chord, which is an A when we're in the key of D. So it means, 2 out of our 1, 4, and 5 chords. Now that 5th string will be a note that's part of the chord. It will make our 4 chord, our G, sound a little bit funky at first, but not much we can do about that. no way of tuning that fifth string to a note that belongs to all three of the 1, 4, and 5 chords. Okay, so let's say we were to start with I think a good way to start with learning to play backup in the key of D is to copy the root 5 pattern on the guitar on your chords, and root pinch 5 roll using the alternating thumb roll. And so on your D chords it'll sound like this. That's 2 measures there. On the G you'll get, and then on the A, and notice that on the A and the G, what they have in common with each other is that the root note is the 3rd string, the 5th is the 4th string. That is the same on both the G and the A chord. Or the A chord just really involves using your index finger as though it were a capo. Just bar across all the strings. And so you can practice, doing some chord changes between the, D, G, and A chords. Perhaps we go D, G, A, D. Or a good thing to practice is the D to the A and back. So stuff like this, D, A, D, A. And if you want a real workout, you can switch chords once every half measure. Let's say we do D, G, D, A, D, G, A, D. And perhaps I'll use the roll through most of that. With each new chord change, I'm starting with the root note of the chord. D note for a D chord, G note for a G chord, and A note for an A chord. Okay, now getting some rolls around some of our melodies. Let's start with Go Tell Aunt Rhody. And we can, our melody is this. Okay, we can get some rolls going. And notice sometimes on the D chord and the A chord we need the shape. We have the chord, and other times we really don't. We can get away with just one finger at a time. So it's all a matter of context. And there'd be some spots where we might have the D chord down and we're needing to add an extra finger to it. We might have 3 fingers down all at once. And you'll see me do that on the 6th measure, the beginning of the 6th measure of Aunt Rhody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then back up, chord progression, just D, D, A, D over and over again. So, going to play the break again, and then going straight into some backups, sing a verse, and then another break, another verse, and call it good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, full here and a little bit faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, the old gray goose is dead. She died in the mill pond, died in the mill pond, died in the mill pond while standing on her head. The one she's been saving, the one she's been saving, the one she's been saving to make her feather bed. Go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, the old gray goose is dead. Okay, happy picking. And hope you'll enjoy exploring a little bit more of the key of D here.